How's it going, everyone? If you don't know, my name is Jay and I have given myself 1 year to train for an Ironman 70.3, and so in that I want to get my training down pat for the year, really lock in and understand my body to the best that I possibly can. Now, I have heard so many good things out there on the internet about this thing right here, which is a Whoop band. And if you go onto their website, they actually have this feature where you just pay the shipping and they will send you this Whoop for free to try for a month. And then if you don't like it, you can send it back at the end of the month and you just pay the shipping on the way back. So I paid $16 Australian for this bad boy to get delivered. And the whole plan was to test it out for a month and see if I like it, see if it's going to be worth the $400 to have this Whoop for the year, and compare it to my Apple Watch Ultra 1, which this came out in 2023, and at that point in time it was $1,300. Now you can pick them up refurbished for about $500. That's a one-time purchase, and so $500. You'll be able to use it for 5 years, 10, however long you want, and it's just that one-time purchase. Whereas the Whoop band, you get the band for free, but then it's going to be $400 a year from then on. So my plan was never really to have the Whoop forever, but see if it's going to be worth it for me to have it this year while training for an Ironman 70.3. Ladies and gentlemen, I am bloody excited right now, and that is for a couple reasons. One, God, that sun is blinding. One, I've finished all of my just shit I need to do today. I've finished my gym session. I've finished meal prepping. I can finally lock into some editing and some work. But two, this package right here is the reason why I'm so excited. It's a goddamn freaking Whoop. Now, you've probably seen Whoop all over the internet.
This is called Whoop. The Whoop. Whoop. This is Whoop.
Whoop 5. Whoop.
But I'm here to test if the hype is real or if they've just got the best marketing team in the world. Well, that was goddamn satisfying, wasn't it just? Now, okay, get started, scan to open the Whoop app. That would have made sense for me to download the Whoop app. Oh well. Unlock yourself. I just opened it off camera. Hold on, let's put it back together. Whoa. Okay, so how the hell do you get it the right length? Aha. On this side, you've got the little pull through. Did I just loosen it? No, I did tighten it. Is that the wrong way? I feel like that's the wrong way. Oh my God, why am I struggling with this so much? Yeah, right. Okay. I see you. So we've got the Apple Watch Ultra 1, like the first Apple Watch Ultra, and then we've got the Whoop. What did we say it was? The Whoop 5. Now, so this, supposedly, this slides. I'm doing something wrong here. No, I wasn't. Ah, there we go. Okay, now it's charging. Okay, I need to download the... Where the hell is my phone? Oh, it's right there. Okay, I need to download the Whoop app. It is downloaded now. Check Bluetooth pairing. So if that blue light there is flashing, you're in pairing mode, which I am. Select your device. Bing bang bosh. Pair. Beautiful. Continue. Welcome to Whoop. Tell us your name so we get it right. Okay. First name Jay, last name Burton, username. That's just my go-to username for anything. What country do I live in? I live in Australia. No, Australia. Connect to Apple Health. Sure. 16th of April 2005. My height. What am I? 184? 185? I think I'm 185. Choose gender. I am a man. I don't really want to hear about new features, sorry. What to expect over the next week. Whoop will calibrate to your body, undercovering your physiological patterns. Wear it 24/7 to unlock personalized insights and new features each day. Tailor your Whoop to your goals. Okay, I'm gonna go through this setup phase and then I'll get back to you in a sec. Okay, so I've got it fully set up, right? But basically there's nothing I can really show you or go into right now. I just have to wear this thing for the next week and then we go into the data, I guess. What I can do though is compare what my Whoop is saying for heart rate and what my Apple Watch is saying for heart rate and see how that compares. So the Whoop is at 59 right now. The Apple Watch says 63. I guess I'll just get back to you in a week once we've got a week's worth of data to look through. So let's dive into some of the statistics side of things. because I guess if you're getting a Whoop, the whole reason you're getting it is for the statistics. So let's dive into that. Alrighty, now I'm also going to be comparing the statistics from Bevel, which is a free app that you can download onto your Apple Watch or your Garmin. They basically claim that it turns your Apple Watch into a Whoop with the statistics that it gives. So first things first, let's go into sleep tracking. This is the stats from the night of the 1st of June to the 2nd of June. Whoop gave me a sleep score of 87. Apple gave me a sleep score of 98. And Bevel gave me a sleep score of 85. 98 to 95, not that different. But interesting that it is different considering both sets of data is coming from the same watch, the same sensor, the same hardware. So I don't really know how they get a different score, but anyway. Next thing, getting into sleep time. The Whoop given us 7 hours and 56 minutes. The Apple Watch, 8 hours and 15 minutes. And then the Bevel app, 8 hours and 7 minutes. Once again, same sensor, same hardware, don't know how it got different times. How long I was awake for. The Whoop says I was awake for 32 minutes. The Apple Watch says I was awake for 15 minutes. And Bevel app says that I was awake for 21 minutes. So, a bit of a wide array there. Next thing, we've got time in REM. The Whoop has 2 hours and 12 minutes. The Apple Watch, 2 hours and 28 minutes. And the Bevel app has 2 hours and 27 minutes. This one is the really interesting one. Deep sleep. Bevel has it at 58 minutes. Apple has it at 1 hour. And Whoop has it at 2 hours and 4 minutes. So that's like more than double the amount of time of deep sleep. So obviously I don't know which one is true and which one is not true, but it's very interesting to see how different they are. Just while we're on the sleep side of things, I'm just going to hit the recovery score as well, which Apple actually doesn't give you a recovery score, but Whoop gave me a recovery score of 60, which is 60%, like, is not very good. And then Bevel gave me a recovery score of 74. So 14% different there, which is quite a fair chunk when you're really looking at it. So, I mean, hey, yeah, so that's the sleep stats from one night's of sleep, just to sort of see how they compare. The Whoop probably is the one that is going to be slightly more accurate. So if you really want the nitty-gritty details, the Whoop's probably going to be a bit better. As far as just tracking your sleep roughly, look, they're all gonna do a reasonably good job. One thing I will say is, because that's just the data from one night, I've been looking at the data throughout the whole month that I've been wearing this, and the Apple sleep score is always the highest. The Bevel sleep score is always tiny bit below Apple, but very close to it, and the Whoop score is always a lot below them. I try not to get hung up on it, but I do find that a couple times I've had a really nice sleep, I feel good, I feel recharged, I wake up in the morning, I'm feeling good, I look at my Whoop sleep score and it's like 80, and I'm like, what? Like, it feels like I had a good night's sleep, and for like 2 minutes, it's just like pisses me off, and I'm like, ah. And then I'll just get over it, and it's like, whatever. Now, this is where it gets very interesting. Tracking your workouts. Now, the Whoop actually works in cohesion with the Apple Watch. Considering it's got no screen or anything on it, it relies on your starting and stopping of the workouts and stuff on your watch. Then it uses the start time and the stop time to gauge exactly where your workouts are, and then takes that point in time and uses the statistics that it recorded and gives you that. Now, on top of that, it does also automatically start its own workouts. It doesn't purely rely on that. It's just that if this detects that you're running, and then it turns out that the Apple Watch has tracked a run from 8:15 to 8:45, this will then track the run from 8:15 to 8:45 and go back and give you the statistics like that. if that makes any sense. However, I've worn this for the 2 football games that I've played in while having it, and obviously not wearing the Apple Watch. It has detected it as a workout, and I will say that the start and stop times are very, very good. Like, to be honest, one of the games of footy we started at, it was supposed to start at 5, and we probably did start a little bit late, maybe 5 past or something, and the workout started from 5:07. So very interesting how accurate the start time was, considering we did a full warm-up beforehand and it didn't track that. So very interesting with that. But daily step counter. So the 2nd of June, which is yesterday, the Whoop said that I did 20,522 steps. Apple Watch said that I did 19,051 steps. And the Bevel app, which I've said it before and I'll say it again, same hardware, same sensor, don't know how it gets a different score, 27,834. That just seems insanely off. Now, yesterday I did an indoor cycle on my indoor trainer, and the Whoop said that I burnt 186 calories and had an average heart rate of 93, where the Apple Watch said I burnt 422 calories with an average heart rate of 96. And on the Bevel app, it has 2 indoor cycling workouts. One of them shows 186 calories, the other one shows 422 calories. So the Apple Watch workout and the Whoop workout have both just been imported into the Bevel app, which I also looked back through all of my other workouts, and that's the same on the Bevel app. The Apple Watch workout and the Whoop workout are both going to get added every time. But very interesting that Apple has me burning over double the calories when the average heart rate is only 3 off. So now, another one that gets very interesting here. On Monday, I did a 1,025 meter swim. Whoop has me burning 249 calories, an average heart rate of 106. Apple has me burning 452 calories at an average heart rate of 116. So heart rate is a little bit different. It's 10 off rather than just 3 off. So, but yeah, once again, Bevel has both data sets in there. Very interesting again that the Apple Watch shows pretty much double the calories burnt that the Whoop shows. Getting into the strain score now. Apple doesn't actually have a feature that shows you your strain score. The problem is, to compare them, it's not very linear because Whoop gives you a number, whereas Bevel gives you a percentage. But you can sort of compare them to each other and see how it is. 31st of May, Whoop gave me a strain score of 13.5 and Bevel gave me a strain score of 79%. Now, 1st of June, Whoop gave me a strain score of 13.3. Bevel gave me a strain score of 66. 2nd of June, Whoop gave me a strain score of 19.7. Bevel gave me a strain score of 85. I think that strain as a percentage is easier to digest. It's easier to sort of understand what it means. Oh, what was your strain for today? And I said, I'm at 85%. You'd be able to work out what I'm saying. Whereas if someone said, oh, what was your strain today? And I said 19.7. What does that actually mean? I don't know. Now, another interesting stat that we're going to compare here, VO2 max. The Apple Watch has my VO2 max at 59 and the Whoop has my VO2 max at 56. So reasonably similar, slightly different. However, I don't think either of them would be quite right. It's a very hard stat to just get to via a fitness wearable. I think that the problem is the data is so different. I don't know. My biggest takeaway out of it though is how is the Apple Watch and Bevel data so different considering they're using the same freaking sensor? I don't know. Now, the next thing I want to compare is just the app. So this is the Apple fitness app, right? You've got your activity rings at the top. You've got your step counter, your your step distance in kilometers. Scroll down and you can see all of your sessions, which is really easy to go back through all your sessions. All in all, the Apple app is very simple and easy to use. Just like a lot of Apple software, it's easy to use, easy to understand, but the data that you're getting is a reasonably baseline data. Coming into the Whoop app here, this is what you're greeted with at first. So up the top, you've got your sleep score, your recovery, and your strain. Then you scroll down and you've got your activities for your day. And then you've got your recommended bedtime. So this is telling me I should get to sleep at 8:36 tonight, considering I want to be getting up at 6 in the morning. Blah, blah, blah. All of your other stats down the bottom there. Now, all in all, I've found that the Whoop app is harder to use and harder to understand. However, the data that it is giving you, if you can use it well and understand it, is far more in depth. So, am I going to continue with my Whoop membership for the next year? Probably not. Definitely not, actually. Now, that's not me saying that the Whoop isn't better. That's just purely me saying that I don't want to cough up $400 per year for data that is confusing to me. I think potentially I've dug my own grave with not understanding the data well enough, and potentially down the line we'll come back to Whoop at some point in time when I understand the data more and want to get the data potentially that is more accurate. I don't know, but I've come to the conclusion that for the next year, at this point in time, I am not going to be coughing up the $400. So unfortunately, this bad boy is going to be sent back. Now, this is not at all me saying don't buy the Whoop. If that in-depth data is what you want, then by all means, it is going to be amazing. One thing that I will say for you to keep in mind is the fact that when I've seen this, like Whoop versus Apple Watch, it looks a lot smaller, right? It looks sleek and like it would just blend in and you wouldn't even notice it. I've actually found the opposite. I thought that it was just going to be like a bracelet that you don't really notice, but the sensor on the top there is actually I don't understand. It doesn't look that big, but I find myself laying on my arm and it's uncomfortable, or I don't know, in bed especially, finding it just uncomfortable. Yeah, so laying down in bed and, trying to sleep. I roll around a lot in my sleep, so it could just be me, but I found that I don't know how, but it is more uncomfortable than this. Maybe it's the fact that I've now got something on both wrists and I'm used to just having something on this wrist. I don't know, but I did think that it was going to be much more unnoticeable. That is a very, very small thing and didn't lead to my decision whether I'm going to follow on with my membership or not. However, I thought I would just mention it to you because before I got the Whoop, I didn't even think of this to be a problem. But I don't know, it could just be that I haven't worn it for long enough to fully get used to it, whereas I've been wearing some sort of Apple Watch for years and years and years. So I think that's about as comprehensive as this review is going to go. So yeah, at this point in time, the Whoop is not going to be what I use. I'll probably come back to it in the future at some point in time, but who knows. All right, goodbye. I will see you in the next video.